Revisiting my dreams with the king.
Yo, good people, welcome to another episode of The Ride, a journey towards your dreams. I'm your host, Johnny King III, aka Still Chill Leroy, and this is the Revisit Your Dreams podcast show, exclusively on the Revisit Your Dreams channel right here at youtube.com. As always, I have a very special guest and a very special episode to present to you today. But like always, I want to remind you of what we're doing here at Revisit Your Dreams. Here at Revisit Your Dreams, we provide inspiration, motivation, encouragement. We explore real life stories of trial, error, and success, and maybe even provide a few laughs along the way. This is season 4 of the show titled Artisans. This season, we are celebrating, honoring, highlighting, and featuring artists and creatives who are on a journey to greatness in their professions. Welcome again to season 4 of this show. There's a lot going on in the world today, and you could be anywhere doing anything. So we thank you for being here with us today and spending the time. My very special guest today is a native of Nashville, Tennessee, a rising and talented writer, performer, and recording artist whose latest music release, Plainly, is heating up the streaming platforms. Her latest EP, Not What You Thought, is a fire R&B project still gaining rapid momentum. She's a pioneer in the conversation of women's professional sports. As an all-pro running back and defensive back for the Tennessee Enforcers women's tackle football team, she is not only breaking the sound waves, she is also breaking barriers for tens of thousands of women across the country. She attended Fisk University, an HBCU in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was there that she became a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority. Her extensive fashion sense complements her eclectic range of vocal recording and sound mastery. She is well traveled, but seeking greater heights along the way, making more room for her personal growth and development. Please welcome to the show, making her first appearance on the ride, a uniquely talented vocalist and athlete, our very special guest, MVP Shae. Welcome to the show.
Hey, man, that was what an intro. I never had an intro like that. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me, Mr. King, on the ride. This is crazy.
I
All right,
appreciate.
let's get into
Yeah, let's get into it.
it.
I appreciate you being here. I'm really looking forward to it. I like to start off by letting the audience know how I know each guest. Although I haven't known Shay for very long, we met earlier this year, but I watched her battle victoriously on the football field. I've also had the pleasure of being in the press box with her as she beautifully sang the national anthem before a AWFL official league game this past season. So I've met her personally, but this will be my first opportunity to talk to her outside of those settings. So this will be fun. Shay, do you have any commentary on my opening statements and how we met?
Well, I mean, you said it all. Met Mr. King uh, by way of the Tennessee Enforcers, women tackle football. Shout out. Woo, woo. And he was just one of the greatest announcers we've had, period, and one that I've experienced, just keeping the crowd engaged and energetic through all type of weathers and conditions. Just it was just good to see the way Mr. King interacted with everybody. So always good energy, always good vibes, good spirit. um every time I've been around you, you've been the same. It's like, even though at times you could play a background role, like your presence is still felt. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And that's what's up. I appreciate that as well. Thank you very much for the kind words. Let's get into it, Shay.
All right.
Off top, your newest release, Plainly, is not only a hell of fire song, but the single is available everywhere we stream music for people to download and add to their R&B and Nashville artist playlist. Your passion for creative expression is very evident when searching through your social media profiles. But what was the moment in your life and music career that made you decide to take your art seriously and begin publicly releasing your creativity to the world?
Honestly, about 3 years ago, um, I met my producer, Trey B. Shout out Trey B. Actually, backstory, went to high school together, but I met him as Trey Beats about 3 years ago, like I said. And I was actually on the other side of things, so doing photography and videography for artists, D'Anthony Wilson and Roselle Wilson. Shout out them. It's my family. But it was honestly them when we were just in the studio, working on some of their things, and they're like, "Hey, Shay, can't you sing?" And just playing around and just making magic happen at a really, just being unintentional, really just vibing with the music, just each other, just spending time, and it just happened. I really don't have any explanation for it. I just know more people that I was around like believed in me and my craft than actually I could see at the time. So they was like, "Hey, you should really do this," and here we are now, 3 years later. So it's crazy. I didn't expect
Still,
to be here this time.
yeah. So you didn't go into it in your relationship with them. It sounds like you said you were doing videography and photography, but you weren't necessarily you didn't have a mindset that I could be an artist at some point. Somebody else kind of encouraged you to start using your vocals.
Absolutely. Like you know, I've always sang, been a singer, grew up in church singing, so still do, and I love it. But never did I think I could pursue that. Mostly because I just wasn't knowledgeable about what it took to be an independent artist. So now I'm going through things, trial and error, and I'm like, I see all that it takes, and I see why. You hear a lot of people doing it, you see a lot of people trying to do it, but some people kind of fall by the wayside, or you're like, I like this person where they at, or like, where are they now? Because there's a lot that goes into it that people don't talk about, of course, financially, but personally, to answer your question, in my mind, never thought, hey, I'm gonna be a music artist. I just know I always love music, and to be encouraged and pushed, by my peers, my family, my friends, it's just like, maybe I can do this thing. Maybe I need to start seeing what they see, or actually, uh, giving it a try at least.
Yeah, there's power in people encouraging you and people seeing more in you than you might see in yourself, and then you embracing what they see and say, maybe I can. And then you have to make the decision though to say, I'm going to actually try to do
Yeah.
this. I'm encouraged now. So that's a great story. You are also very expressive in your fashion choices and style. What inspirations might you have had throughout your life that helped bring the drip out of you?
Honestly, I'm not trying to not discrediting anybody at all, but I can't say one specific person where it's like, oh, I want to dress like them. I've always seen
Mhm.
multiple people dress in whether they're famous people or just regular people. I'll be like, what is that she has on? What do he have on? And I'll just find pieces when I'm shopping or anything. It's just really expressive, and different. I never like to look the same as someone. Like, for instance, in high school, I had this red and black jacket. I wore it once. I saw somebody else wear it. I never wore it again. So for me, I'm trying to get out of that, but at least just try to look different. Even though there's styles that are trending, you can still put your own flair on it. So that's what I try to do.
You definitely have it's definitely unique for you, and it's definitely not like one basic style. You switch it up based on the mood, based on the scene, based on the environment, based on how you feeling, probably because I see so many varieties of colors and different materials, different way that you dress. Sometimes it's dressed up, sometimes it's dressed down, but it's always fly. So that's dope. Definitely something that to help you as you grow in your artistry and create videos and photography. As yourself as a videographer and a photographer, you kind of know a little bit about what it looks like from behind the
Hmm.
camera. So you could present yourself in front of the camera in the same way that you might see others when you behind the camera. Is that
Absolutely,
accurate?
absolutely. So I'm already thinking ahead. Like, so my actual photography and videography business uh was called MVP Vision. So I feel like I just see that vision ahead of time, and that's why I'm able to piece it together before I even get the pieces. That just helps me to be most prepared, like for my own content or especially for my clients. So definitely that would describe it well for sure.
You got to see it before
Yeah.
you see it. So that's dope. That's dope. Let's talk about your EP. Not what you
Ooh.
thought. Again, another fire music release. I have to admit, I was highly impressed by this work. I sampled and listened to it. Really enjoyed listening to the entire project. What inspired this EP, and which songs from the collection are gaining the most attention?
Mm. So I would say nothing nothing concretely inspired this EP. Once again, um, just being pushed and encouraged. There was a point in time that you know creation slowed down for us as a collective working together. So we weren't a music group per se, but we were just all chasing the dream. Really, like we love to create, so we thought, why not do that together? And there was a point in time where it slowed down, but I just felt like I gotta keep creating, so I just kind of branched off and was creating on my own. Trey or send me beats still because you don't have to tell him to create. Like, he gonna be making beats when you ain't even thinking about it. He probably making a beat right now. Shout out Trey.
Mhm.
But he's just sending, yeah, like
Like
a
a
producer,
producer.
and he was just sending them over, and he would help me, to find studio time. We get studio time, and fun fact, um, the engineer of the whole EP is Coach Martius Cleveland.
Oh,
So
word.
it's just, I feel like the
That's dope.
football word and the artistry word, like I had to be in these places for this stuff to like work cohesively. Like that's why I said it wasn't
Mhm.
really inspired. Like I feel like we stumbled upon it, but it was beautiful in the way. Like I feel like God had His hand in all of it, just where we need to be, what we was doing, like the time frame it happened. So you said what inspired it, and what was the second part? Which
Which song? This is a second part. Which song from the project are you still performing when you make live
okay,
appearances? I didn't ask you
okay.
that, but that's the
Which
second part of the
song?
question.
Mostly when I perform, if it's something from the EP, not what you thought, it would definitely be reciprocation. Um, at the most recent performance I did at the Pop Up Fest a couple months ago, I actually performed dance floor for the first time. But reciprocation is always like a crowd favorite. I feel like it's just, um, even though it's a grown vibe, I feel like any age, can relate. Like reciprocation any
Mhm.
type of way, and I just feel like it's just a calm vibe anytime. And I actually did a live version, kind of like a tiny disc feel, which is on YouTube. So I just feel like that's the one I'm most comfortable with performing actually. So I would have to say reciprocation number one, and then dance floor number two.
Yeah. When I listen to the EP, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, and this ain't no lie. Those are the two songs I was like, I
Really?
like these. I like both of these a lot. I like all of them, but Reciprocation is the one that stood out to me the most, and then Dance Floor is the one I listened to a couple times as well. So yeah, that's interesting. But those are very dope songs, and they go along with the rest of the flow of the
Five
album. I think
tracks,
is it
yeah.
5 tracks or 6 tracks on the EP? Yeah, yeah. A dope fire EP. Y'all go out and check out MVP Shae. The EP is called Not What You Thought. 5 dope songs. Reciprocation is one of them. Dance Floor is one of them. Fire singles, man. Y'all go check her out. All right. Is there one song that you've released that you would say epitomizes who you are as an artist and the sound that you might want
Mm.
people to know you for?
I would say, honestly, whew, epitome. I would, if we going with epitome, I would say dance floor because, believe it or not, unintentionally, the track order is listed in the order in which we recorded each song, and dance floor was my baby. Like that was the first. That was the first one I dropped it as a single. Um, I got great feedback. I got better responses from the audience than I really expected. Like I thought it was only gonna be like 10, maybe 12 people listen, and then to hit milestones like within those couple of weeks, like it may be small to some, but it's big to me. 100 plays, like to not have ever
Mm-hmm.
released music to releasing music now, 100 plays, and I would say dance floor is where I would say myself, Marty, and Trey together found my sound because I have music prior to this EP. But I wasn't really happy with it. Even though it's out, wasn't really happy with it personally. So we just went in the studio and we just figured out what worked. Like just spending time with each other in dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it maybe took 2 studio sessions, and and it was pretty much done. So I would say dance floor for sure is a sound that I want people to know me by. Just because that is the original sound. Like I will, my sound will continue to get cleaner and better. You know, of course, I will improve as an artist, but
Mm-hmm.
dance floor is where it all started. So, yeah,
Yeah, that's dope that you have one that you can look to say, this is when I really felt like
yeah,
I was expressing my artistry in full. Dance floor made me feel like, okay, maybe I could really do this and make my mark because I like what I've produced in this song. Dance floor definitely a dope track, for sure. Let's switch gears for a minute. We're gonna go back to the music
okay.
and talk more about your music career and your fashion sense in a moment. We're not taking the shine off of that for sure. But
Yeah.
there's another side of MVP Shae. I met you earlier this year at the beginning of the 2026 AWFL football season. For those watching, the AWFL is American Women's Football League, an organization of professional women's tackle football teams across the United States. As a 2026 AWFL All Pro selection and player of the Tennessee Enforcers that are based out of Nashville, Tennessee, what was the inspiration behind your decision to participate in what some would say is a sport a little too violent for women to play at the
Honestly,
professional level?
all in all, I'm a hooper. I'm a hooper. I grew up playing basketball. That's all I did. Like I played other sports. My original baby was softball, but we're not gonna go there. But mostly basketball. But I was playing in the She
Okay.
Got Game League, women's basketball league. That was down here. It originated in Memphis. Moved its way down to Nashville. I was playing. I played in there for a couple of years. In one game, I go up for a layup, and my knee doesn't come with me. So for a year, I'm just thinking, you know, it'll get back
Mm.
together by itself. I don't know why I thought that. But when a year's time came, I'm like, something still isn't right. Went to the doctor. Long story short, my meniscus was torn. Got surgery at the end of May.
Mm.
After I found out in like the beginning of 2023. So had surgery in the end of May and began the recovery process. Of course, there was good days, there was bad days, but all in all, once I felt like I was well enough to play again, which there was some open runs of basketball, I went out. I was limping a little bit, and then I went
Mm.
again the following week, and then I just kind of like struck out in a sprint, and I'm like, I can do this, like I can do this, but unfortunately, Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah,
That's how I felt. I was like,
I'm back.
but unfortunately, at the time, the She Got Game League, so there's different time frames where they do the league, and it wasn't active at the time. So I was like, I got to do something. I got to play sports. And D. Scott had told me about the team uh months before, probably like a year before all of this even transpired. And I had remembered it. And she said, "Hey, this the team. Come over here whenever you get ready." And I came out there one Wednesday, and I was like, I think I can do this. And most people would say, after tearing a meniscus, you want to go play a more violent sport than what you were already playing. Yeah.
Yeah,
But honestly, it
that's
was
what I'm
like,
thinking.
I wanted to really trust God in that moment. I wanted to be like, hey, if I'm going to recover and if I'm going to trust that this knee can be what it once was, I just want to try it. Plus, I always wanted to play football,
Mhm,
but I wasn't able to. Um, so when I got the opportunity, I'm like, I'm over 18 now. You know, I can do what I want to do. So that's what I chose to do after I recovered. I came and I've been here ever since, from year one to this was the third year. So that's really what inspired me to play football. Period.
yeah, that's dope, man. That's very inspiring. I know somebody out there is watching this and said, I've always wanted to play football as a woman, as a female, or I've often thought that maybe I can do something after my injury. I can still be athletic after my injury. Maybe this is some courage and some inspiration that might help you, put it to the test a little bit and have faith. One thing that stood out to me is, you kind of wanted to test God. You're like, God said you're going to be all right. He healed you. So if I'm healed, like I believe I am,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go out here and put it to the test. I'm not gonna limit myself. And that's amazing testimony. I love that so much. I love that so much. Let's see. After losing to a team that you had previously beaten in the first round of the playoffs this year, what has been yours and the team's mindset as you prepare for the
Um,
2027
that's kind of
AWFL season?
tough. I will say, for me personally, I was actually considering taking a year of reflection, um, because it doesn't have really anything to do with how the season ended. Um, However, I think personally, I like to be able to give 100% to what I'm doing. So with the artistry and this as well, um, other personal things in my life. Um, I think it's important for me to find balance because it's not fair for me
Mhm.
to only be able to give a certain percentage to each thing, especially when I have teammates and coaches and other people, depending on me just to do my part. So I can't speak much on the upcoming season because, like I said, I think I'm gonna take a break for reflection.
Mhm.
Um, but I do want to get back on that out on that field. It's this is where I stand right now. I'm just being transparent and honest. This is where I stand at this moment. But I do want to revisit. I don't want this to be
Mhm.
the end for me. But I want to be able to I want everything to align, my body, my mind, everything, so because I feel like personally I had more to give. Um Not saying that I lacked effort, um but if certain things were a factor, then I could have gave him more and maybe could have been more of a contributing factor to my team. Um, However, I do wish them the best, and I plan to
Mhm.
be around, supportive, still cheer them on and everything. But for the upcoming season, because we got some licks to get back. We can't go out like that. Um, we have some very talented people. driven people,
Yeah.
and all around just we got some athletes and we got some people that's passionate about the sport and they want to play and they don't just want to play for fun. We're gonna have fun, but we here to be winners to get the whole thing. Especially after year one, we went all the way
Mm-hmm.
undefeated. Like
Mm-hmm.
that feels so good. Like I ain't.
All the way
I've
to
been
the
a
top.
winner. I've been undefeated in things, but football that was my first time, my only time so far. So that feels so good. So I'm hoping we can revisit that soon and very soon. Yes.
That's dope. I thank you for that, transparent, explanation of where you are right now. And this is a testament to who you are as a person because one thing you said is you wanted to have balance and you want to be in alignment with everything that you're supposed to be doing, and not giving, um, partial percentages, at different times to one or the other, but be able to give
Hmm.
100% to one and 100% to the other and be in full sound mind and body when you do it. So it's totally understandable. Last season was a great season for me to be a part of and to see you perform and your teammates.
Quarterback pass intercepted. Brought back. Number 10, Shay Brown for a big interception return. Big play. MVP Shay Brown.
You definitely play with some very athletic and very talented, very driven women on that football field for sure. And I wasn't around for the championship season, but I can only imagine what that would feel like, and how it will push you to want to come back and taste that again. So whenever you decide to come back, I'm sure the team will be willing to to bring you, embrace you again, and look forward to seeing you back on that field one day, Shay.
Yes, me too. Thank you.
All right, Shay, finish this sentence for us. The success and growth of women's professional tackle football depends on blank.
Success depends on you. I'm gonna just put you for general talk. You, whoever is reading that sentence, whoever is saying that aloud, depends on you. Or you can say me, interchangeable. Depends on me. Only what you put into it can you get out. You shouldn't expect another person to put in more than you, or you shouldn't just sit back wait on everybody else to get it done. If you want to contribute to that sport, you can, and that's showing up every time, 100%. Control what you can control, and do your best. That's all I ever say in everything. Like you can only control what you can control and do your best. So it may not be your role to handle all this over here. You may be the person over here,
Hmm.
and there's people over here, and there's people there. So just control what you can control, and it just depends on you.
Yep.
I'm excited for what's to come for it because it's growing.
Hmm.
Um, Word of mouth, social media. Um, they're bringing more opportunities for the young ones coming up,
Hmm.
and it's still opportunities for all of us, 18 and older. So I stick with that. It depends on you.
Y'all definitely the pioneers. Here in Nashville, you guys are the pioneers of women's, professional tackle football, and so it's great to be a part of that. And for like she said, it depends on you. And when she says you, she's talking to everybody listening or everybody who wonders, how can this sport grow? You know, be a part of it. Help it grow. Come support it. Watch games. Join forces with a team nearby, somewhere where you live, to help them, promote the sport, promote the athletes, support the organization in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's just showing up to a game, buying a ticket, that helps. It helps bring exposure. It helps bring some funding back into the organizations that spend a lot of money to try to keep this thing going, because it is in the pioneer stages of it. And, one day, few years from now, we don't know how long, but one day we'll both be looking back and saying, man, I remember when this sport was still widely unaccepted, and now it's exploding across the world, not just the United States. So that's dope. How do you think leagues like the WNBA, Athletes Unlimited, the newly instituted Women's Professional Baseball League, how do you think they're making room for the public to really embrace tackle football?
I would say, since all of them are different in their respective sports, just pushing that envelope for women, period. And just acknowledging that women's sports are not only out there, but there's some dogs, and there's some women that can play, and there's some women you gonna want to watch. You gonna want to see it in person, not just on your TV. So, um, I think in those ways, hopefully there's somebody, um, from the inside out working. Like I said, they're in their respective areas, but hopefully somebody's just finding a way for these opportunities to be widespread across all women's sports. Um, so hopefully they're finding a way to, you know, just recently add professional baseball, softball for women. Even though we have these leagues down here, hopefully they can open up a doorway, um, where we can be on those same platforms. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just help us out, really. Just help us out. Somebody got to be on the inside working something out. I believe that it's people that really want to see this, like you say, explode. It's people that want to see this grow. Um, Maybe we can enjoy like a Super Bowl weekend, one weekend
Yeah,
for the women. We always see NFL, so maybe it can be something. It can get that big. I just hope the best
yeah.
for it, because people have put their time into this. People have definitely put their money into this. So hopefully it's just all going to the right places, to the right causes, for the growth of women's tackle football, as a whole.
That's a great response. I appreciate that. It's a very well thought out response, because they're basically setting a platform for the rest of the world to see that, like you said in the beginning, it's not just women who want to play the sport. There's some dogs out there. There's some very talented athletes out there on
Absolutely.
every level of the sport, and on every level, on every different type of women's sport. I mean, if I'm looking at the WNBA right now, I mean, there's endless amounts of people I can call upon, but I mean, like a new rookie to the league, Olivia
Oh
Miles.
yeah.
I'm talking about, like, what you think about Olivia Miles?
She be going crazy. What, she have a 40+ point game the other day? Like, it
Yeah.
people just need the opportunity to be seen, and it'll take care
Hmm.
of itself. And Olivia has had the chance. She didn't put the work in, and it's showing.
Hmm.
Just like across all these sports, it's ladies putting the work in. They just need that opportunity to be seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's people like yourself, people like Olivia Miles, who are making it known that there are some athletes out here that love and respect the that level of competition, and deserve to be kind of revered in the sense of being a pioneer in the women's sports. I think the WNBA has always uh, done well to try to promote
Yeah.
itself, but it's taken a whole new level in the last few years with some of the women that are coming to the league. Olivia Miles being one of them, Paige Beckers,
Yeah.
Asia Wilson going to always be a beast doing her
Yeah.
thing. And there's a lot. I love WNBA. Let me stop talking, because we have a WNBA
Because we can
conversation
go
on
there. We
here.
got to do a separate interview for that one.
For real, I love WNBA, so we might have to talk off camera about that for sure. All right, let's get back to your creative expression though through music and art. All right, where do you envision yourself in 5 years as an artist?
Woo! Hopefully, being able to just do artistry, and it's my job. Like, my goal is not to be the face of everything per se. I just want to be financially comfortable. So, I want to be able to continue to build my community and my support. Like, I don't really like to call people fans. Like, it's just support.
Mhm.
Like, you listening to my song, you sharing it with whoever, coming out the shows, free or not. I appreciate people's time. So I definitely appreciate if you had to spend a little money to see me. But as an artist, I just plan to be a better artist, and I plan to be more than just an artist. So I plan to add musician to that title. Hopefully, uh, some type of producer, engineer. That way, you know, I can create my own beats if I want to, or I always can't get in the studio. I can't go here or there. I'm able to record myself, and I'm able to understand what people are experiencing when I work with them or when we work together. And just know what's going on in music. Period. I want to know more of what's going on. I want to be more knowledgeable. I don't want to just be the artist that just sings. I know some
Mhm.
things, but I could definitely take it to the next level. But everything in its time. Everything in its time. Hmm.
Everything in its time. Yep, yep. Everything in its time. You want to be in alignment in what you're doing. You want to make sure that it is right for you at the time, not rush. Especially with music, you can rush through the process of music, and it's going to be evident that you rushing through the
Absolutely.
process. You know, and you can kill your efforts before you even get started. People like, I can't
Yeah.
vibe with that. It doesn't sound like she put enough or he put enough time into it you know so that's very inspiring to know that you not only want to be successful as an artist, but also be able to know how to do everything behind the scenes, not only so you could do it for yourself, so you can help other people rise in this industry. So that's the vision you're talking about, MVP vision. So that's
Yes.
dope, Shay. um, how important how important is it to you to remain independent as an artist?
Honestly, um, like I said, I'm new to this. I'm new to this music scene, but just coming across videos, hearing about it, or having conversations with people that have experienced it or may know some things. Um, just get receiving all your credit or all this due to you. Because I feel like a lot of people get into things and they're not knowledgeable. So that's really my thing right now. If I don't know what I'm getting into, I don't want to be a part of it, because I want to always I want to look out for myself too. So sometimes um maybe joining forces with somebody else, it's not always necessarily signing to a label, because you can, you know, have a team or work with other people, but um being independent is important to me because I know what's going on. Like, the less people you have involved, then the less that's going on that you may not
Hmm.
have a clue about. Even though we may assign people a
Hmm.
certain role or this is what they're supposed to do, that isn't always what happens. So, I'm not trying to brag, but like, even beyond the music, like when it comes to cover art, for the most part, for plainly, I created it cover art on my own. Um, Hint, hint. I got something coming soon. I created that cover
Nice.
art for Not What You Thought. Visuals by Foreign. Shout out Foreign. He took my photos, but the Not What You Thought title, I added that on there. So that's money you get to save in your pocket. The more you know how to do and can do
Hmm.
independently. Um, all my social medias are ran by myself. So anything you see, I put it out there. So just it saves you really money. You may not have as much time doing everything by yourself, but it's good to to learn to have those trial and error moments. I have a lot of I'm like, what am I doing? Sometimes I can't call on people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, most times I ask my producer because he's very knowledgeable, but he has a life too, so he can't always answer when I'm ready. So I have to figure it out on my own, Google. Uh, when he is able to respond, I have some other artist friends that are currently in school, so another one, Faith the Danae. Shout out, Faith. I'm shouting out people, but I have to give credit to those who have helped me because I don't want to just say like I've done it by myself. But independently, it's important for me to just know what's going on. All in all, um, I'm open to discussions with others, but I know I can always count on myself to have my best interest in mind. I don't always know if someone else does or another company does or whoever I may come across. So that's a big thing. Like you gonna care about you probably more than anybody else. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It sounds like it's important to you to, and I think it would be important to any artist who is currently independent or who desires to stay independent. Is make sure that you fully know yourself as an artist and you fully know all that it is that you're capable of before you turn the reins over of your career to a company or someone else to dictate what
hmm
it is that you need to do, all the x y z's that you need to do, which might not align with
exactly.
what you desire, um, because you pretty much signed a contract that said you giving them power to make these decisions for you. So I think that's very important for you to hold that position until, and when I say until, it doesn't necessarily mean you will ever sign with a record label or anything like that, or doesn't mean you won't, but until you feel comfortable enough that if I would sign with the label, I'm in complete control over the outcome of how all this is going to play out. You're not going to be able to get one over by me because
Exactly.
I know how to
And
do
that's the
X, Y,
whole
Z.
point. People get excited when they see the numbers, but read the fine print and know what's going on. And there's some labels and there are individuals that actually want to see you grow. They believe in your craft. And so they will arrange things where it works in your favor. So I'm just trusting God through it all. I pray over it all because the industry can be a tough industry from the outside looking in, especially
Hmm.
inside looking out. So, um, that's important for
Hmm.
sure.
Definitely, definitely for sure. We got to touch base on that too. That's another thing we could talk about off camera at some point is music. I've been around the music game for a long time, producing music and stuff too. So there might be some conversations that we could have that you might enlighten
Yeah,
me and I might
most
enlighten you
definitely.
on some things. So too. So yeah, we got to talk about that as well. Um, all right, Shay, a
Okay.
more serious, thought provoking question for you. What is your
Mm.
greatest fear in life?
You put me on the spot right there. My greatest fear in life. I don't really. Hmm. In life, like period, or just my greatest fear. Period. Okay.
However you
Um.
translate that.
Honestly, I would have to say just not reaching my full potential. And I I just say that to really correspond with not trying. Like you never know until you try. Um, and I don't want to say,
Mhm.
oh, I could have did that, or you know, because unfortunately we can't play it out. We can't see the future. So it's either you're guessing, wondering what if, or you're actually seeing if it can happen. So I would say my greatest fear is not reaching my full potential because I'm surprising myself like with my creativity. Like, when they ask you how you just asked me where do I see myself in 5 years, when they asked us, in middle school and high school, when you answered when I answered, this isn't where I said I would be. So it's just really um it's really
Yeah.
interesting to just live your own life, and really be invested in yourself. Like, live your life. Don't just exist each day. Push the limits. See what you can do in all aspects. It don't just have to be creativity. It can be physical. It can be mental knowledge. Just see how you can grow each day. Like, you're not supposed to stay the same. Get better. If you change and get better. So that's what I would say. That was a good question.
I love that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. But I love that answer. It's one of the reasons I asked this question, for a similar response. I don't expect that response necessarily, but I do expect people to be on that kind of same wavelength when they consider that the answer to this question, and that is that, um, not accomplishing what you desire to accomplish, not fulfilling your own goals and dreams, things that you told yourself you wanted to do, you not executing upon those things and getting to a point where in
Yeah.
life where like only if I would have done this, but you don't want to live with those regrets later on. So you're gonna go out and give the effort now and see if it could work. And I appreciate the encouragement to the audience. If you're listening, she was encouraging you, go out and try, go out and give it some effort, see what you can do with it. Don't let it stay dormant in your head. One of these days you're gonna regret letting this
Yeah.
live in your head for too long and you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. Um, man, I appreciate that so much. All right,
Okay.
MVP Shay. We getting ready to have a little
Okay.
bit of fun. We almost done with this
Ooh, I'm
interview, but
enjoying
we got a
this.
couple more,
This
and we're gonna have a
this
little
is
fun
good.
before we
This
go.
is
All
good.
right. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that. But just like every other guest this season, I can't let you hop up in the ride and then just hop up
Okay.
out the
Okay.
ride without having a little bit of fun with you. Revisit your dream style. So it's time for another installment of Off Top. Let's get it. Okay, Shay, here's how this goes. I call out the name of a person, place, or thing, and in 30 seconds, you tell us the first thing that comes to mind off top.
Okay.
All right, got it?
Okay. I think I got it.
It's easy enough. All right, I got 7 subject matters for you. So here's
Okay.
number 1. Off top, the Fisk Jubilee Singers.
Whew. Okay. I remember off top. I remember um always going to convocation, and the Fisk Jubilee singles would be there. Like, even if you didn't really want to be a part of the event, or wait the whole time for the ceremony, you were gonna make it on time for those Jubilee singers. Like, I I don't care which year who was a part of them. Like, the Jubilee singers have one sound. Like,
Mhm.
and my Fisk guys know what I'm talking about. Like, it don't matter. Him, her, from back then to now, they have a sound, and it's amazing. If you never heard the Fisk Jubilee singers live, you got to hear it live. I mean, the track is phenomenal, but it doesn't do it justice. You got to hear them live. That's off top.
I appreciate that, man. Shout out to the Jubilee singers, to the all the Fiskites out there. I know a few of them. I didn't go to Fisk. I went to Tennessee State University, but we close. So I know quite a few people that went to Fisk.
Yeah.
And For those of you who don't know, you think of Nashville as Music City, USA. It's called Music City, USA, and most people relate that to country music, but not really knowing that it got its name Music City, USA because of the Fisk Jubilee singers, not because of country music.
I don't want to
So,
step on toes, but do your research. He
yeah,
telling the
yeah, there's
truth.
some deeper research out there as well behind how that name came about, but it definitely wasn't country music. So shout out to Fisk Jubilee singers. Thank you for that one. All right, off top, Nashville-based music producer Trey Beats.
Trey Beats, the best producer in the world. Like, and I say that humbly. This is the most humble producer, one of the most humble people, period, I met. Um, just so selfless, so passionate, and he has a plan. Like, he came to me with the plan. Like, that's why we took the pictures together for Not What You Thought. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was very important for his face to be seen because Trey does a lot that he don't he not gonna brag about it. He not gonna speak on it because that's genuinely his character and that's what he wants to do. Fire beats. I feel like he can go right. He can go left. I say, Trey, I need something like this. Trey delivers. Sometimes he send me some stuff. I'm like, boy, I don't know where he came from, but Trey beats. If you need a beat, he's your man, and I feel like he's a great businessman. Period. Like, he's gonna come prompt. He's gonna come prepared, and
Mm-hmm.
he passionate. That's all you need. Those three P's describe Trey Beats.
Prompt, prepared, and
Hmm.
passionate. Shout out to music producer, Nashville-based music producer Trey
Yeah,
Beats.
shout
All right, next one off top, Nashville's Music Row.
Nashville's Music Row. Honestly, it's funny. I shot off top. I'm thinking about I shot the pictures to Not What You Thought on Music Row. Um, I know BMI building over there, SAE Institute over in that area, but off top, I was riding around there. I'm like, I need somewhere to, and I'm like, I should look on Music Row. It should have something, musically or, something creative enough where we can do this. And Music Row was perfect. Like, just end up working out. So that's off top.
Yeah, off top. That's dope. For those of you who don't know, Nashville Music Row is where all the major record labels and record companies that are affiliated with the record industry, almost every single one of them in the United States exist here. There's a headquarters or an office for them here in Nashville,
Mm.
Tennessee. And I mean, there's like 2 or 3 blocks of just buildings and houses and structures that are dedicated toward record labels and music production and, um, uh, uh, engineering studios, recording studios, all types of stuff out there. So definitely a scenic place too, to take some cool artistic
Yeah.
pictures. All right, thank you for that one. Off top, Tennessee Enforcers owner Michelle Bray-McDonald.
Michelle Bray. Mama Michelle. That's what I was calling her first year. Um, No shade. Mama Michelle always gonna bust a tear, but it's cause she love her girls. That's off the top. I'm just thinking about always just
Hmm.
her emotional side. Just she love the team, she love the organization. Um and she passionate. You think she out there on the field. But it's all love.
Hmm.
She supported me on both sides on the field. Um and as an artist. So just the emotional. I don't know.
So,
That's the first thing that came to my mind. The emotional side of her, but it's um it's always tears of joy for the most part, like just happy that um probably her dreams came true, because she wanted to start something for
mhm,
women to be seen, to have this outlet to play, and she did it, and it's happening,
mhm.
and this is not over. So just thinking about her in those emotional moments, tears of joy, and just loving the environment, loving the enforcers. So yeah.
Yeah. That's dope that you said, maybe one of her dreams came true. I think it did. I met Michelle many years ago, long before the enforcers existed, before she even started coaching. Started her youth football programs that she started years ago. I met her way before then, when she was just starting the
Mm,
ideation of wanting to create a platform for young black athletes, or just athletes, period. In the sport of football. She started out with youth football, and then escalated to where you guys are, the women's professional level. And I think that was a dream come true of hers, and which is probably why you do see those tears of joy coming, because every time she's out there, it's like she's living a dream. Every play, she's living a dream through watching you
yeah.
guys perform. So that's dope. Shout out to
Shout
Michelle
out.
Bray. Love
Thank
her
you.
so
Thank you.
much. And it was, if it wasn't for Michelle Bray and my relationship, or my relationship with Coach Ronnie French, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet you and do what I did for the team this season. So I really appreciate that
Absolutely.
relationship. All right, off top, studio recording versus live performances.
Off top studio recording. So I'm going to just say, off top studio recording versus live performance, reciprocation, um, studio time was pretty smooth as far as I can remember. But when it was time to do the live take of the song, we were practicing, and I felt like by the time it's actually time to record, excuse me, I feel like by the time it's actually time to record, I didn't get the best take. However, that's what we got. So it's like, I feel like in the studio, I'm able to just give it my all because y'all can't see me. But performing live, it's like
Mhm.
all eyes are on you. So don't mess this up. Um, but I love, as I continue to perform live, I love to perform live. But I can just think of that up top, that reciprocation. But that was cool though. Actually getting a band together. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate people time. Like, I did not pay none of these people.
Mhm.
Thank you. I did not pay none of these
Mhm.
people. But my music, my character, my energy, it made them want to be around my music initially before we even met in person. Made them wanna come out and spend their time. So shout out to the band. Marty was on the drums, Trey on the keys, Felix on the guitar, and Trey's cousin Junior on the bass, I believe. And that was just a beautiful moment. The reciprocation live. Like I said, y'all check that out on YouTube. It's a dope one.
Y'all go check out that song, Reciprocation. There's a live performance video of Reciprocation out on YouTube to check out. Thank you for that response.
Okay.
All right, two
Whew.
more before we go. Off top, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Off top, I remember just being so, like, this is the start of me doing things that I felt like I couldn't do, and never did I think we would become a member of a sorority. Um, but off top, I remember my probation night. Um, neophyte presentation. For those who are not familiar, and
Mm-hmm.
I was just so nervous is an understatement, but I'm like, we done came this fight, can't turn back around now. So being the ace, being the one that leads the way, being the one that starts the call and everything, just starting everything off. I feel like it was a lot of pressure on me. But my whole life, for some reason, I've been pushed into the leader position, or so this is why I'm learning now to just kind of settle into it. So, but that's off top, my neophyte presentation night. It was such a great night though. We did phenomenal. We did not mess up, but just being the leader, being the ace, knowing everything starts with you, there was a lot of pressure. Yeah. Ooh. I'm reliving it right now. Like, oh my
Yeah, man. In your head, I can see your head. You like, man, man,
god.
I
Yeah.
remember. I know. It made me start reliving some of my days when our neophyte presentation. I crossed and I wasn't in
Okay.
undergrad when I crossed. I crossed grad chapter. So we had a different type of presentation, but it was still kind of nerve wracking a little bit because everybody was there watching. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And we a little bit
Yeah, yeah,
older
yeah.
now. Like
So
I'm in
it's
my 30s.
we doing this. We
You know what I'm
doing it.
saying? So it's a little different. Yeah, but it was a great time. So shout out to SG Rose. I know quite a few of you. My one of my good friends, his daughter just crossed SG Row at
Yeah.
MTSU earlier this
Yeah.
year. So that's dope, man. Shout out. Yeah, yeah. All right, last one off top,
The
the
Grammys. Oh
Grammys.
my gosh. I did not watch the Grammys. That's crazy. For some for some
I
reason,
didn't either though.
I don't be catching the Grammys. Give me an insight. Who won a Grammy? And maybe I could say something about them. Do you know anybody who won a Grammy this year?
This year, I mean, I I don't know because I didn't catch it.
Ooh.
If I'm just guessing. I don't know. I don't really know who won a Grammy this year. I haven't paid attention to it. I know that I knew some people. Like I knew that I heard the news and like, okay, they won a Grammy, they run. But
Yeah.
I haven't been up on the Grammys as much. To be honest with you, and this is an open conversation about it, whether or not it's specific to an artist or
Mm.
just the general event itself, or how you feel about it. I will say that TSU, Tennessee State University, and I think Fisk did something with the
Mm-hmm.
Grammy in a last couple years, or at least was nominated. But I know TSU won a Grammy for the Urban Hymnal
Yeah.
album that they produced a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was
TSU
big. I remember.
Aristocrat of Bands won a Grammy for
Yeah.
that. And I know Fisk got yeah, then
I
Fisk, I
think
think Fisk got
I
nominated for
think
something as
so.
well, or
Um
maybe won
if it wasn't the school as a whole, I don't want to misspeak, but it had something to do with the Jubilee singers. But
for sure.
I didn't dive deep into that, but I know they
Right.
were recognized for sure because I think I remember seeing the announcement. But that's big for HBCU for Jefferson Street. Period, because a lot of people feel like the Grammys are rigged.
Yes.
Um, a lot of people feel like, you know, they say we have the voting power, but then, you know, people like, how, you know, according to how the year has, went, how is it that this person won a Grammy, over this person, or how a certain single has performed? So that's
Hmm.
big for the schools themselves and HBCU community as a whole. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not just the big schools you see on TV, the Big Ten and all these schools that are always on TV. It's some schools around here and some people around here that are not being broadcasted, but they creating greatness, and I think that's that was a big moment and milestone for both. Whether it was just a nomination or actually to
Hmm.
receive a Grammy, just the acknowledgement, just putting the schools on the map for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. What I appreciate about it is
Mm,
that you said Jefferson. You mentioned Jefferson Street. For those of you watching, Jefferson Street connects Tennessee State University, Meharry Medical College, and Fisk University, all on the same path. You can walk between the
yes.
three of them within 10 minutes of each other. And so, shout out to Jefferson Street, doing big things in the HBCU world and taking, music from Jefferson Street all over the world by way of the Grammys. So that's dope. I appreciate that. That was that ends the round of
Okay.
off top shade, but you survived around my sister. Great response to each topic. Thank you very much for taking that ride and that journey with us.
Yeah,
I
that
hope
was
you had
real
fun
cool. That was real cool.
on this segment of
You
Off
got me
Top.
thinking some things I don't think about all the time, but I like to get my brain moving. That was cool.
We try to do that a little bit here. We try to do that. All right. So we almost at the end, but a final ride. Last question. If you were to give a TED talk to a room of aspiring young female athletes who desire to one day play professional tackle football like yourself, but don't currently have um, a direct path toward participating in the sport prior to graduating from high school, what would you share with them to help them prepare for what they would need in order to try out for and make a pro
I would
team
say,
like the Tennessee
firstly,
Enforcers?
not trying to be funny, to get you a job so you can pay for your equipment. So that way you can prepare properly, because like I said, this was my first time playing tackle football, but I played football before. So just being behind those pads feels different. So I would just say write a plan, have a plan, and stick to it. Um, it may not work out how you think, but with this sport, with the Tennessee Enforcers, they took me in and other players in without prior experience. So you don't have to be experienced. There's great coaches and personnel. You got teammates that are veterans and experienced that will help teach you and guide you. So really, I would just say focus on aligning your mind with your body. You know you're gonna do it in your mind, then don't just be there in your mind. Go to the gym, um, eat correctly, get rest. People forget about that part. Get rest. And just stay uplifted, stay encouraged,
Mhm.
be around like minded people. They may not want to play the sport, but they're driven and they'll support you, because you're gonna definitely need their support. It's nothing better than looking to the stands and seeing your people, or hearing them if you can't look. So I would just say, have a plan,
Mhm.
stick to it as best you can. Don't get discouraged, and it's gonna be people along the way to help keep you lifted and encourage you. You don't need any experience. If you want to play, just know that you want to play and give your all. That would be my TED talk.
I love it. I love it so much. Audience, that is our special guest today, MVP Shay. Shay, we're going to wrap it up here, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to share with our audience anything that you personally like to share. You can tell them where to follow you, where to find your music, promote anything you like to promote, tell them how to connect with you. The floor is
All
yours.
right. Once again, like Mr. King said, I am MVP Shae. That is MVPSHAE. You can find me on all social medias at MVP Shae. Instagram, TikTok. Facebook is Lachey Brown. So if you know the government, find me there. Um, I have a new single dropping this week, so be on the lookout for that. It's called Destination.
Do you want to travel overseas? Or would you rather keep it in the States? It don't really matter what our destination is, long as I see that smile on your pretty face. And I brought my passport just in case. We decide we want to be spontaneous. Yeah, this life that we living was made for us. I just want to ball all day. Don't got no reason to rewind, press play. Let me take you on vacay. Working so hard, know you need a break. I know you've been waiting for so long. I'm ready to take off. Can we get away?
Some more up tempo song, fun song. So hopefully, uh, I feel good about it. Hope to get great feedback from that. But that's where you can find me, and also shout out all the artists out there, great artists, the ones that paved the way, the ones upcoming. I don't want to say smaller artists. We upcoming. So shout out everybody
Yeah.
working hard. Shout out all the women's tackle sports. Shout out everybody, but shout out Tennessee Enforcers. Always. That's home. Um, shout out all women's sports, period. And last but not least, shout out Mr. King and the ride. Shout out Mr. King specifically for this platform. Because as he is sharing um our dreams with y'all, asking us, he living his dream as well. This is something I'm sure he didn't just want to do yesterday or last week. So he's doing it now, no matter when he started. Shout out to you for that. Respect, because a lot of people, when time slips away, uh, they just let their dreams go with it. So anything you want to do, just do it today. Don't be like, I'm gonna do first of the month today. So I appreciate you for having me. Um, for being genuine, your character. Thank you for being a part of the Tennessee Enforcers organization and just being who you are. I really appreciated this interview. I had a lot of fun. I'm looking in the air because I'm thinking, trying not to forget. But shout out Trey, shout out Marty, Ro, and D, shout out Pam, everybody on my journey is contributed. Shout out everybody that listens. Go stream MVP Shae. I'm trying to roll it out for y'all. We got projects coming in the fall, hopefully. So look out for that. Look out for that. But I got Destination coming this week. And I'm gonna wrap it up, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm talking too much. But thank you.
Yeah, you ain't talking too much. Thank you very much, Shay. MVP Shay. Y'all go stream her music. Go follow her on the social media platforms. It's simple as it sounds. MVP SHAE. Thank you very much for the kind words. Definitely, this is something that I've started a little over a year ago, and it is a passion project for me. I am a sponge for inspiration, and I only bring people on here who I'm inspired by, because I believe if I'm inspired by them, other people too will likely be inspired by them. So you definitely have inspired me, whether you know it or not, Shay. So thank you for being a wonderful guest today and
Yeah,
spending the
most
time with us.
definitely.
Audience, I want to thank you so much for being here and watching this episode of Revisit Your Dreams. I hope you enjoyed it. I will ask you to like, subscribe, and share this episode with somebody you know who might get something from it. We are excited about what we have going in season 4. We're almost to the tail end of season 4. We're at about a little over 180 subscribers. I'm not too big on the follower count or the subscriber count. I only mention it. Our goal is to get to about 250, but by the end of season 4. But I only mention that because we want to keep a goal number in mind, because the larger our channel grows, the more people will watch and the more people we can inspire. And the whole goal is to inspire as many people as possible. So please like, please subscribe, and please share this with somebody that you know who might get something from it. And lastly, if you know someone who is still on the pursuit of their dreams, encourage them to keep going and keep growing so that one day their dreams might become a reality and may change and improve all of our lives. As a reminder, our show airs each Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for everybody out there on the West Coast. We want to thank you again for watching another episode of Revisit Your Dreams, and we'll see you again real soon.
One love.
One
The
love.
ride. Peace.
We out.